Imagine being held captive, terrified, powerless, and yet, over time, you begin to trust your captor, maybe even defend them. Sounds twisted, right? This is Stockholm Syndrome, a psychological paradox that blurs the line between fear and attachment. Let's break down the science behind it and why your brain might betray you in the most unthinkable situations. The term Stockholm Syndrome was born in 1973 after a 6-day bank hostage crisis in Stockholm, Sweden. The hostages weren't just passive, they actually resisted rescue attempts and later defended their captors. One woman even got engaged to one of the criminals. Psychologists were stunned. How could this happen? Stockholm Syndrome isn't a disorder listed in the DSM, but it's a known psychological response to trauma. When a person is held captive or abused, they may start to form emotional bonds with their captor as a survival strategy. It's your brain's way of reducing fear to cope with an overwhelming threat. The amygdala, your fear center, goes into overdrive, and if the abuser shows even a hint of kindness, the brain clings to it as a lifeline. This distorted bond can feel like trust, even love. There are 3 main conditions where Stockholm Syndrome can emerge: a perceived threat to survival, small acts of kindness from the abuser, isolation from the outside world. This creates what's called a trauma bond. Your body floods with cortisol, stress, but also dopamine, reward, when the threat eases slightly. That chemical roller coaster wires the brain to associate the captor with relief, not just fear. It's not weakness, it's biology. Stockholm Syndrome isn't limited to hostages. Victims of domestic abuse, cult members, and even exploited employees can show similar patterns. Any situation where a person is emotionally or physically trapped and dependent on their abuser can create this twisted bond. And the longer it lasts, the harder it becomes to escape, mentally and emotionally. Stockholm Syndrome is a powerful example of how adaptable and fragile the human mind can be under extreme stress. Understanding it isn't just about crime stories, it's about recognizing the hidden ways trauma shapes loyalty, memory, and identity. If knowledge is freedom, then awareness is the first step.